Welcome to our Cinematic Storycraft English Learning YouTube channel. Today is very interesting story, My Daily Routine as a Mom. This story is helpful for your English learning, listening, and speaking skills, so listen carefully and feel free and enjoy the story. Every morning, the sound of the alarm at 6 a.m. brings me back to the reality of my busy life as a mom. Before I even open my eyes, I'm already planning my day. The house is still, and the early rays of sunlight sneak through the curtains. I quietly slip out of bed, careful not to wake anyone. This is my only quiet time of the day, and I cherish it like a hidden treasure. My first stop is the kitchen. I brew a cup of coffee, savoring the smell as it fills the room, and sit by the window for a few precious moments. The peace of the morning is short-lived, and before long, I hear the soft patter of little feet. My 5-year-old son, Ethan, is the first to wake up, as usual. His tousled hair and sleepy eyes melt my heart every time. "Good morning, Mommy," he exclaims, his tiny arms wrapping around me for a morning hug. This simple greeting fills me with the energy I need to tackle the day. I guide Ethan to the bathroom, where we start our morning routine. Brushing his teeth is always an adventure. He insists on doing it himself, though it often turns into more of a game than a task. After that, it's time to wake up my daughter, Emily, who's 8. She's not as eager to leave her bed, and it usually takes some coaxing, a promise of pancakes, and a few tickles to get her up. The kitchen quickly becomes a whirlwind of activity. Breakfast is on the stove, pancakes as promised. Emily sets the table, while Ethan chatters about his dream from last night. Something about flying on a dragon's back. I love these little moments. The chaos mixed with joy, the laughter, and the small talks. Once breakfast is over, the real hustle begins. Getting the kids ready for school is like trying to organize a circus. Emily can't decide which hairband to wear, and Ethan suddenly decides he doesn't like his favorite shoes anymore. Amid the whirlwind of school bags, lunch boxes, and last-minute checks for homework, I somehow manage to get them out the door on time. As I wave them off, the house feels eerily quiet for the first time since the day began. But that quiet doesn't last long. It's time for me to switch gears and dive into my work. Between juggling a part-time job and household chores, there's little time to rest. I work from home as a freelance designer, and balancing my career with motherhood has been a challenge, but it's one I gladly take on. I fire up my laptop, answer emails, and dive into a few client projects while keeping an ear out for the laundry machine beeping in the background. Mid-morning, I take a break and tackle the housework. The laundry needs folding, the kitchen is a mess again, and there's always a stray toy or two to pick up. Sometimes it feels like I'm running on autopilot, but I find a strange comfort in these tasks. They ground me, reminding me of the home and family I've built. By noon, I'm back at my desk, squeezing in a few more hours of work before the kids return. It's a constant juggle, balancing work deadlines and household responsibilities, but somehow it all falls into place. Well, most days, anyway. The clock strikes 3 p.m., and it's time to pick up the kids. The moment they burst through the front door, the house is alive again with their stories, laughter, and inevitable sibling squabbles. Ethan shows me the dragon he drew in class, while Emily talks about her science project. I listen to every word, even if my mind is already on what to cook for dinner. The late afternoon is reserved for homework, and it's a challenge in itself. Emily is quite independent, but Ethan, well, let's just say his homework time often feels like an obstacle course. I help him trace letters and count numbers, and before long, we've turned it into a game of hide and seek with crayons and counting jelly beans. Once homework is done, the kids get some free time. They either watch TV, play with their toys, or, on rare occasions, play quietly together. This gives me a chance to start dinner. I've got it down to a science. Quick meals that are nutritious, and most importantly, something the kids will actually eat. Tonight it's spaghetti, which is one of the few meals that gets unanimous approval. By the time my husband comes home, dinner is ready, and we all sit together at the table. These dinners are my favorite part of the day. We talk about everything: the kids' school day, my work, and my husband's job. The conversations are a blend of serious and silly, but they're always filled with love. After dinner, the bedtime routine begins. Baths, pajamas, brushing teeth. It's a marathon to get them both settled down. Ethan always asks for one more story, while Emily insists on reading by herself before bed. I tuck them in, kiss their foreheads, and finally, the house is quiet again. With the kids asleep, I collapse on the couch next to my husband. We talk about our day, share a few laughs, and sometimes just enjoy the silence together. This quiet moment at the end of the day is what keeps me going. It's not glamorous, and it's definitely not easy, but it's the life I love. As I finally crawl into bed, exhausted but fulfilled, I can't help but think about how lucky I am. Being a mom is the hardest job I've ever had, but it's also the most rewarding. Every day brings its own set of challenges, but it also brings endless moments of joy. I fall asleep, knowing that tomorrow will bring more of the same chaos, but also more of the same love. And that, to me, makes it all worth it. Comment your feedback, like and subscribe our channel.